President Donald Trump became the first sitting president to attend the Army-Navy game in 7 years on Saturday, and he wasn't just sitting on the sidelines. The president participated in the ceremonial coin toss before the 119th edition of the annual matchup. A crowd of 66,729 many active-duty military members were at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia for the festivities. Trump seemed to get a warm reception from the fans, or perhaps they were just happy that Navy won the coin toss, but then he got more applause when he honored the captains from both teams. The president turned and shook hands with the captains for both the midshipmen and the Black Knights. Trump had also publicized his appearance at the game on his Twitter account, tweeting a photo of the field shortly before Air Force One landed. CNN reported that while the approach path to Philadelphia International Airport is normally close to Lincoln Financial Field, Air Force One made a special low pass over the stadium and dipped its right wing. The president was hardly the only military official attending the game. Defense Secretary James Mattis was there, as were Interior Department Secretary Ryan Zinke, Secretary of the Army Mark Esper, and Secretary of the Navy Richard Spencer. According to CBS News, Trump was the 10th sitting president to attend the game. Theodore Roosevelt started the trend in 1901. Trump also attended as the president-elect in 2016, a little more than a month before he was sworn into office. He received a similar reaction from the crowd during that appearance. The custom is for the president to spend one half of the game on Army's side of the field and one half on Navy's, which Trump duly followed. It's an honor to have the president in attendance as the nation watches these men fight one another with every ounce of their being on the field, but when it's all said and done, they will combine to form one of the most powerful fighting forces known to mankind, the U.S. Armed Forces, a statement from West Point read. As for the toss, it ended up tails, meaning Navy got to choose its fate on the opening kickoff. The 3-9 midshipmen chose to defer to the 9-2 Black Knights, ranked number 25 in the nation, according to USA Today, which wasn't a good move. The Black Knights moved down the field quickly, aided by a 51-yard run by Kel Walker, and were up 7-0 by the fifth play. The final score was 17-10 in Army's favor, their third straight win over Navy, although the game never seemed as close as the score might indicate. Army finished a very respectable 10-2, while the midshipmen ended the season at 3-10, their worst campaign since 2002. As for Trump, the game came on the same day that he announced the departure of Chief of Staff John Kelly at the end of the year. It was also a week that saw significant political tumult, particularly in the direction of Michael Cohen. At least in Philadelphia, however, there seemed to be a moment where all of that went away. Republican Senator Ted Cruz has just upped the ante on the contentious battle with the newly emboldened Democrats over President Trump's proposed border wall. The Texan, who is fresh off of his defeat of liberal rock star Beto O'Rourke, just introduced a bill to fully fund the wall at $25 billion, which will infuriate Democrats who are already engaged in a game of guts poker with Republicans over shutting down the government. Trump has been firm in his request for the funding of a key election promise, and as recently as Friday blasted Democrats for playing games over what, given the recent proliferation of migrant caravans of thousands that are not only riddled with aspiring refugees who have infectious diseases but also are a perfect cover for criminal elements and possibly terrorists, and what has become less about immigration and more about national security. It was only weeks ago that Democrat Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer suggested that there could be some negotiation on the amount allocated for the wall, but he was immediately attacked by the fanatical and dangerous social media mob and quickly backed down. With his bill, Cruz is pushing the issue and all but daring Democrats to shut down the government by choosing to side with illegal aliens over American citizens. Via the Hill, GOP senators introduced bill to give Trump $25 billion for border wall. Republican senators have introduced legislation to fully fund President Trump's request of $25 billion for the U.S. Mexico border wall. The Wall Act would fully fund the border wall by closing existing loopholes that provide illegal immigrants with federal benefits and tax credits, without affecting the benefits and tax credits used by Americans, Senator Ted Cruz, of Texas, said in a statement on Thursday. To pay for the border wall, the Republicans proposed to crack down on benefits for undocumented immigrants, including requiring that parents have a Social Security number to claim refundable tax credits, requiring any welfare applicants to prove they are a citizen and increasing minimum fines on individuals who cross the border illegally or overstay visas. If you want to receive food stamps and other benefits, then you should prove your citizenship. If you cross the border illegally or overstay your visit to this country, then you should pay a stiff penalty, Senator John Kennedy, R.Law, added. In addition to Kennedy and Cruz, the bill was introduced by Senators James Inhofe, R. Oklahoma, and Mike Rounds, R.S.D. The Wall Act is going to soon have many Democrats screaming in outrage, especially since it comes only days after the septuagenarian Speaker of the House in waiting Nancy Pelosi threw down the gauntlet that the Open Borders Party wasn't going to fund Trump's immoral border wall. The Wall Act is going to soon have many Democrats screaming in outrage, especially since it comes only days after the septuagenarian Speaker of the House in waiting Nancy Pelosi threw down the gauntlet that the Open Borders Party wasn't going to fund Trump's immoral border wall. Transcript excerpt via Real Clear Politics. Question, but within that, there was money for the fence, as well. Pelosi, well, you're talking about, a fence. You're not talking about a wall now. Question, but you're okay with that, as long as it's. Pelosi, no, I'm okay with what our chairwoman, Lucille Roybal Allard. She is a person who has fought on these issues her entire stay in Congress, which has been for a couple of decades. We're blessed that she's in the position that she is in. She knows that most of us, speaking for myself, consider the wall immoral, ineffective, and expensive. And the president said he promised it. He also promised Mexico would pay for it. So even if they did, it's immoral still, and then they're not going to pay for it. So that isn't how I would interpret a Congress on a continuing resolution. The we can move forward with this. We have a responsibility, all of us, to secure our borders, north, south, and coming in by plane, on our coasts, 3 coasts, north, south and west. And that's a responsibility we honor, but we do so by honoring our values, as well. As of this now, a temporary stopgap funding bill has been passed which will avoid the Mexican standoff of a shutdown that could arrive only days before Santa arrives, and Dems are clearly wary of being blamed for dropping a lump of coal in the stockings of Americans. Caleb Klakulak and Kenneth K.J. Gross had been BFFs since 2nd grade before KJ died in May of congestive heart failure after years of chemotherapy to fight leukemia. Now, Caleb, a 12-year-old Michigan boy, is working odd jobs to raise money for a special Christmas gift, a gravestone for his best friend. KJ was buried in a family plot at Detroit's Elmwood Cemetery. However, K.J.'s mom couldn't afford a grave marker, so Caleb has been raking leaves, collecting bottles and soliciting PayPal donations on social media to help raise $2,500, the cost of the headstone, as the Detroit News reported. He's raised $900 so far and given the money to K.J.'s mother, Lysandra San Singleton. I love Mississippi San, Caleb told the news outlet. I was sad she couldn't afford it. I wanted people to be able to find K.J.'s grave when they went to see him. Caleb's mom, Christy Hall, helped him get started with the fundraising effort. I really think this is a great thing for Caleb to focus on and help him with his healing, as well as K.J.'s mom, who misses her baby and has to visit an unmarked grave, Hall wrote in a Facebook post about Caleb's goal. Singleton said she's overwhelmed by Caleb's actions and love for her son, even after his death. She said the boys were kindred spirits, they were like brothers. It just speaks volumes to the type of people that they are. And it speaks to the type of person that KJ was. He impacted people to where they want to do this for him, Singleton said.